If you're at a place in your life where you're sick of playing small and you're ready to shed your old identity, you're watching the right video. In the past 2 years, I've been on a journey of healing and self-discovery. Recently, after turning 27 years old, I hit a wall and I decided that I needed to take a leap. So without a plan, I went to Southeast Asia for 3 months and I began to search my soul. I quit my business, I left everything that was comfortable, and I decided to essentially start again. This is what I called my surrender experiment. And if you've been following along on my journey on Instagram or TikTok, my blog, or even on my podcast, you'll know that this journey has been wildly transformational. In fact, it has changed my life so much that my entire business, my entire schedule, my way of life, and my way of being has completely shifted, and I am almost unrecognizable to the person I was before I started this journey. I'm here to help you embrace all of life's chaos and to lean into who you are here to be, even if you don't know where to start. So if you're watching this video, this might be you right now, and I want to assure you, you're in the right place. So in this video, I'm going to teach you how to let go of your old identity and the 3 things to do and what not to do. Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Nicole, a life and business coach for high-functioning women. I'm a self-proclaimed foodie, content creator, educator, and your new abundance bestie. In my world, we talk about all things to do with elevating your life. I post weekly videos helping the everyday woman embody her highest self, create inner wealth, master her mindset, unlock her femininity, and be an absolute boss in life. I create resources, trainings, and host experiences online and in person in order to help you reconnect to your true self. Not the one you think you need to be, but the you that you were born to be. So you can reclaim your power and amplify your voice to lead, love, and create as a woman. If you like my vibe and you want a little bit more abundance in your life, hit subscribe to be notified whenever I drop a new episode. And be sure to check out the free resources in the description below. I wanted to film this video because I have been on this journey of learning to integrate who I have now discovered myself to be and the version of me that I want to show up as in the world, and knowing how to do that amidst the tension of who I'm used to being. And after coming back home from my trip, I've been confronted with a lot of triggers and familiar environments that usually would have me acting, behaving, and thinking in certain specific ways. I mean, the reason why this happens is because we have unconsciously programmed ourselves to habitually react, think, and feel in the same ways because of our familiar environment. Now, after 27 years of doing things a certain way, of course, it's going to be difficult to rewire that programming, but it is not impossible. And so I think it's really important to acknowledge the tension of understanding what your best self, your most authentic self looks like, and coming to that place while acknowledging that the transition from where you currently are and all the familiar programs and habits you're used to operating under, and learning to be able to find a sweet spot to be able to still show up as your highest self while acknowledging that you're in a transition process. In this video, I'm going to show you how to do that. First thing you're going to do is accept the push and pull of this process. All that really means is embracing the fact that you are in a transition. When you are in transition, going from one destination to another, it is uncomfortable. You would rather literally just teleport there and arrive, but that's not how it works. Transit requires a process. Just like if you're catching a plane, you need to check in, you need to drop your bags, you need to wait at the terminal, and then you need to get on the plane, do the transit, and then arrive. You cannot rush the process. As with the rules of nature, which we play by because we are human and we are also part of nature, anything good takes time to develop. You don't just plant a seed and expect it to sprout right away. So in this process, you're going to acknowledge that there is a push and pull between your new identity and your old identity, and that is normal. The way that you're going to integrate and really step into your new identity is to allow the shedding process of your old identity to happen naturally. You need to allow that all the time that it needs in order to happen. And I know it's frustrating simply because you want it to happen faster. You don't want to operate in the old ways or the patterns of self-sabotage, but it's gonna happen because quite naturally you have programmed yourself in that way for years. But how you're gonna make it easier on yourself is by allowing yourself to relax and to embrace this push and pull. One of my yoga teachers during a class said this profound statement that literally reverberated in my body. He said, "Your deepest expression doesn't happen right away. It happens when you sit, allow, and relax." Just like when you're doing a stretch, you don't necessarily get the deepest stretch right away. If you stay in that stretch and you breathe into it and you relax, you're gonna find that you're gonna get a deeper stretch and it's gonna feel so much better, but it's not gonna happen instantly. And this is how we need to embrace this push and pull process. So in saying that, what you're not going to do is you're not gonna sit there expecting the change to happen instantly. It's a process. And for me, I know I was really frustrated in this push and pull process, especially coming back because I was just on a high of wanting to be this best version of myself that I had unlocked. But because there were all these visual and familiar triggers of things that would usually have me operating in states like scarcity and doubt and discouragement, I now had to face the reality of having these triggers and finding myself operating in the ways that I thought I already worked through. And that's how it is in the healing journey. You're not going to right away be able to master this highest version of yourself because it's not yet a natural, organic state. Just like learning to ride a bike or drive a car, you're going to need to rehearse this and you're going to need to bring the knowledge from your head to your heart and to your body. It's a training process or a programming process. So you're going to allow this process to happen and as much time as well. So it's not about trying to do your best self or your new identity. It's not about trying to strive to attain it like it's some achievement or accomplishment. No. It's about learning to relax into your being, because the mistake that so many of us make is that we believe that the highest self is actually all the way out there or our best self is far off, when in reality, it's already within us. The best, most authentic, influential version of you lies within you. And so you cannot do anything to attain it or to be it. You actually just need to relax into that being. You need to let the programs and the tendencies that you've absorbed get out of the way. You need to stop clinging so tight to this way of life that you're used to and learn to relax into what you feel like doing. So it's very instinctual. And that's why in this work, we always talk about emotion, because your emotions are your guide. They're your compass. As long as you are feeling secure, you're feeling certain, you're feeling calm, this is what's going to allow you to access that natural being, that innate higher self. The second thing you're going to do is you're going to allow yourself to follow your highest excitement. Follow the path of least resistance, because that is where there is most allowance. When you allow yourself to flow between the tasks and projects that you enjoy, and you allow yourself to fill up your time pursuing the things that light you up and dedicating your focus on things that draw you and inspire you, it might seem unconventional and it might seem like it's not really making a difference other than making you feel better. But the truth of this is, when you actually follow the path of your highest excitement or the path of least resistance, what you're doing is allowing yourself to receive the blissfulness and the ease that is here to support you. That is your natural state. While it may again seem very counterintuitive, the only reason why it seems counterintuitive to take this path of least resistance towards your best life and your highest success is because for your whole life you have literally believed that the only way to get to where you want to go is to struggle through it. Not many people are out here telling you or supporting you or giving you the resources to help you take the path of least resistance and to succeed that way. But it is also a possibility. It is also a viable pathway. It's just like saying we're both going to go to a certain destination, but you're going to take route A and I'm going to take route B. The path that is most walked is the path A, and that's the path of struggle. That's the path that we have glorified as a society. And part of that is because of this over masculine narrative of needing to go through the rough and the struggle and the sacrifice. And not to say that is not good or that it's not effective. It's to say that there is another path. There are many things, just like falling in love, for example, where you take the path of least resistance every time. You might be like, well, how is that possible? I have literally gone through a billion breakups before I found my ideal partner, before I found the love of my life. While that seems like the path of struggle, it's actually the path of least resistance. Because if you think about it, the way that you fell in love with the actual person that you ended up with, like your partner right now, was from just a knowing. You didn't have to struggle to know, you just knew. And even if you thought you were struggling to know because you couldn't figure out if you liked them or there were so many obstacles, it wasn't really a struggle, because if you were honest with yourself and you looked deep down, you probably knew that they were the one for you. You were just offering resistance and reasons why it wouldn't work out, and you were just getting in the way. But the truth of the matter was, you just knew that you knew that you knew. And this is the same for many people with a vocation, a calling, people who've had brilliant ideas that have changed the world or have changed their financial circumstances altogether. Most of the time, the idea was just sitting there. The transformation, the power was just there, lying within them. But they needed to get still. They needed to get out of their way. They needed to just relax and follow their flow. And this is why when I work with my clients and my students and I help other women around this kind of work, it's always about changing that narrative of we have to get there through struggle. Because even though struggle is the familiar, common way, it is not the only way. And I want to teach you the other pathway that is just as effective, if not more, and it's enjoyable. So with that being said, do follow your highest excitement. Go take the dance class if you feel like it. Go for a walk if you feel like it. Stay in bed if you feel like it. Cook yourself breakfast. Do things and let it be unconventional and let it be sporadic. I think for a long time I had a really big problem with letting things be sporadic and unpredictable. I needed to have a schedule. I told myself I needed to have the same routine every single week. And the reality is that was going against me being a woman. Not just that, like, energetically, the season that you are in, if you are in this transformation healing journey, is a journey of literally rediscovering who you are. Just like a child learns to walk, you're gonna start to take your first steps and then you're gonna fall. And then you're gonna start again, you're gonna try a different method, and you're gonna take a few steps and then you're gonna fall. Like, you're not gonna follow the same process every single time because you are learning. And in this case, you are learning to become yourself. And that is not a process that you have mastered yet. So we need to relax a little bit and not program ourselves or expect ourselves to be so rigid every single minute and day and hour of the day. For you, it might look like a dance class this week, and next week it might look like a yoga class. It might look like a gym session. Like, whatever it is that you need to do, follow that highest excitement and really practice not judging that it is not in a routine or standardized process. Or a standardized process. So what you're going to not do is go against that energy, go against that flow, because it's like a current, just like a stream is flowing downwards. You don't want to try to swim upstream because that's just a waste of energy. You're gonna find more enjoyment in this process of becoming your best self when you relax and let the flow take you, even if it doesn't make logical sense. Your logical mind might be like staying in bed and not going for a walk today. Like, that might not seem like the right thing to do because everybody's like 10K steps. You got to get up first thing in the morning, but your energy is your energy and you know your body best. Maybe not on a head level, but on a body level, your body knows what it needs best. Trust that intelligence, trust that it knows what it's doing. Listen to it, honor it. And when you do, I promise you, you're going to find that the energy comes back to you and maybe you're going to want to go for a walk. Trust me, try it. Instead of berating yourself for staying in bed and feeling tired, just ask yourself, like, what if I let myself rest? What am I afraid will happen? And then let yourself rest. Like, fight the urge to make yourself wrong. And then when you let yourself rest, notice whether that desire arises again. Notice whether you take the action to go to a walk or not. This is This is like life-changing stuff, you guys. Before I go on to point number 3, I want to invite you to join the I Am Her Collective, which is the female collective where you can gain resources, mentorship, community, and so much more for free. You can join the WhatsApp community now in the description box below. And if you're somebody who is really enjoying this episode and you're wondering how you can work with me or where you can get more resources and support around your journey of becoming, I'm releasing a brand new program called Becoming, the Journey Back Home to Yourself. It's a coaching program that I'm so excited to release. And if you're somebody who is watching this and you're thinking, I need to get my hands on that program, subscribe to my email list in the description below and you'll get notified right away when it releases. All right, let's get back to the episode. The third and final thing you're going to do in order to let go of your old identity is to embrace the chaos. Embracing the chaos is the greatest gift you could give yourself during this whole process. One of the things that I told myself when I was basically swimming upstream and fighting myself, trying to rush the process of becoming my best self and getting frustrated that I wasn't maintaining this, highest version of me, and I was feeling all these low vibe emotions. I was judging myself so hard and I was fighting upstream because I was unwilling to embrace the chaos. And one of the things I told myself that really helped me just be in this season and to enjoy this season was, this isn't just a phase. This is a new way of life. And when I looked at that, I began to see that there was no urgency. There was no rush. I didn't need to try to get to this best version of myself for fear that I would lose it or it would never happen. I could just allow this way of life to unfold. Just like your body, when you injure yourself, will do what it needs to do in order to heal. You can predict that it's going to do one thing, but it's going to do what it needs to do. And it might take unconventional routes and processes to get there. But the reality is it will find its own way because it is a self-repairing machine. You are designed to self-heal. You are designed to bring your own self back into balance, energetically, emotionally, mentally, and even biologically. So what you don't want to do is you don't want to pretend that you got it down pat and pretend like your life is pristine and perfect faster than it is not. You have to acknowledge where you are and embrace all of that. You don't need to parade it or show people if you don't want to. Get off Instagram if you need to. Don't pretend to take care of yourself when you're not really. Don't fall into the trap of believing that your life needs to be pretty and perfect because all the self-care girlies have pretty and perfect aesthetic lives. You know what I mean? If you're in a funk or you're feeling restless, embrace that chaos. Let the chaos be part of the process for you. And while this sounds super simple for me to say, it is really, really, truly hard, and I acknowledge that. Embracing the chaos means allowing yourself to have really messy and unproductive days and to still hold the belief that what you are doing right now and what you're not doing is also valuable to your journey. Because I think so much of our society defines our worth in our work and in what we do. That's where it gets really, really difficult to allow ourselves just to be and to not be achieving or accomplishing anything and to still feel worthy. I made a video on this recently about your worth is not your work. So you want to check that out if that topic really resonates with you. Embracing the chaos is like taking a note from nature. The forest looks like absolute chaos, but it is not. It is orderly. There's structure. Everything has value. Everything is intentional, and it all feeds and flows into an ecosystem that is healthy. Even if your life looks like chaos right now, it is not actually, and you have to choose to see it that way. Otherwise, you're going to believe that you're not going anywhere. And while this may feel like an endless journey of transforming and healing, and you might be wondering, when is it going to end? When am I going to see the light through this? It's okay. You will. And the light is here, the light is now, and it's just up to you and the lens that you put over your eyes and how you view your journey. So remember that the journey gets to be enjoyable, and it gets to be a process of growth and healing that actually feels good to you. And that is all up to you. If you want to take your abundance to another level, I want to help you. I'm a life and business coach for women who want to step into their next level by activating wealth from the inside out. To help you take your first step to unlocking true abundance and your aligned potential, I'm giving you free resources, workshops, and masterclasses that you can access on demand right now. Check out www.nicoleconception.co/free-resources to get your hands on it. For more videos like this, check out the other playlists and series I have on this channel, and don't forget to hit subscribe to be notified whenever I drop a new video. And if you're more of the podcast type, check out Freedom in Flow, where I dive even deeper into the concepts that will help you create less hustle and more flow, abundance, and alignment in your life and business. Now, if you're a reader, you'll want to subscribe to my email list for unfiltered, honest, and most importantly, applicable life upgrades. Now, don't be a stranger. Connect with me on Instagram and TikTok and send me a message. I love getting to know you and your story. It's why I do this. Okay, my lovely, that's all for now. I'll see you soon. Signing off, Nicole.